you guys? It's Naseem here. Now, after using the Apple Watch Ultra for about a month now, the one thing that kept coming to my mind after using it on a day-to-day basis was this one simple statement that I think explains the Ultra pretty perfectly. And that statement is, I think that the Apple Watch Ultra is the most addictive yet pointless watch in the market. And I say this because, if I'm being honest, I use the Apple Watch Ultra for the exact same things that I use my Series 8 and SE for, but I don't know why the experience was so much better. Maybe it was because the Ultra had a much bigger, more comforting screen, or the fact that it had the best battery life that I had experienced on the Apple Watch, or maybe the fact that my mind has tricked me into believing that it's superior because it's the most expensive. I don't know. And the reason that I say it's pointless is because when you really think about it, there is a very small percentage of people who will actually use the Ultra for what it's intended for. And I think that the majority of the sales will go to people who just want it because it's the best Apple Watch that you can buy. And don't get me wrong, I loved every single minute of my use with this watch. It's by far my favorite Apple Watch ever, but also I'm not really glad that I spent $800 and I feel like it's a bit overpriced. But in this video, I won't be trashing the Apple Watch Ultra. I will be sharing my experience and letting you know how it holds up after a month of use. Now, the Apple Watch Ultra has a 49mm display that was easily my favorite thing that I loved about the watch. There were many times where someone would send me a picture and I wouldn't even have to look at my phone because I could see everything on the watch. Apple has also decided to make the watch much more bulky, and I thought I was going to hate it, but to be honest, I think it looks very nice. It wasn't too big on my wrists, and its bulkiness made the buttons even easier to access. Now, something that I really liked about the display was the fact that it handled fingerprints really well. No matter how much I touched my screen, my fingerprints never took over the screen, even when my hands weren't the cleanest. Now, the last thing that I liked about the display was the responsiveness. Like, whenever I was scrolling through the OS, I got quicker responsiveness, but it wasn't that much different from the Series 8, and everything felt sleek, and I loved all of the little animations within the display. Now, even after a month of use, I was still able to last a little over 3 days before having to charge it, which really came in handy since I am a bit lazy when it comes to charging accessories. And I was amazed how it could track my sleep and still be able to last that long since it's doing a lot of work when it's not on. But if I'm being honest, the Series 8 wasn't that far off because I also did sleep tracking with that and it was still able to last 2 days. But one thing that I will say is that if you do get the Ultra, the biggest benefit of the battery is that you won't have to stress charging it often, which makes it really hard to use any other smartwatch. Now, there are times where I will forget to charge it or accidentally fall asleep with it on, but with the Ultra, I had that extra breathing room and can afford forgetting to charge it without having to worry as much. Also, my 3-day period was based on the fact that I went the extra mile and used extra functions. So if you're someone who isn't going to go to bed with your watch and use sleep tracking or any extra features, the battery will last even longer. And when it comes to charging, I will usually charge my watch when I'm in the shower or getting ready, so it would take less than an hour for it to charge to 100%. Now, the watch band on the Ultra was very comfortable if I'm being honest. The material made it even more durable, and you could tell it's built for extreme activities. The only problem that I had with the bands of the Ultra was its lack of colors. Don't get me wrong, I love the vibrant colors, but whenever I'm wearing a smartwatch, I would prefer more generic colors like a lot of other people would. It was also very easy to put on, but sometimes the watch is so big that it could get in the way, and I would have to try squeezing it in to put it on. Now, currently my watch is on watchOS 9, and I would say that in terms of visual experience, it looks very similar compared to last year, but there are some minor changes. The new action button lets you choose whatever app you program it to, but it also lets you go to whatever workout you do. But if I'm being honest, I didn't use this as much because I would just run and the watch would automatically sense that I was running, so there was no need. Every app that I went into looked very clean and polished, especially when compared to other smartwatches. Also, everything was straight to the point so that you're not wasting too much time toggling through your smartwatch. And just like every other Apple Watch, there were a lack of options, but the only one that was cool to me was the geographic one. Like right here, you can see that it knows exactly where I'm at, and I can even rotate the bezel to change the light reflecting off the earth, which was really cool. But overall, it still feels the same as the previous Apple Watch, but feels a little bit more smoother and more premium. You get those same functions that you're familiar with, and Apple was able to capitalize on that aspect. Now, it's safe to say that whatever workout or sport that you do in your daily life, the Apple Watch app will have a tracker that specializes in that exercise. Like right here, you can see all of the different workouts and sports training that this app has in its catalog. I like the sleep tracking, but if I'm being honest, it wasn't as good as the Galaxy Watch because it made me set a sleep schedule, and I'm someone who doesn't go to bed at the same time, so the fact that I had to put sleep mode on really bothered me. Now, if you're someone who's into swimming, the Ultra will be able to survive up to 100 meters, which is really good if you're someone who prefers scuba diving. Your watch will also be able to detect if you're on a run or doing a certain workout, but if I'm being honest, many other Apple Watches are capable of this, so it's not that impressive. The last thing that I liked when it came to fitness was that after I was done my run, I would check my health app on my phone, and it would tell me every stat of my run. So not only did I know what was going on, but I also knew what I could improve on. Now, coming to my final conclusion, I think that the Apple Watch Ultra is a really great watch that has a lot to offer, but if I'm being honest, I don't think that most people need it. And I say this because I think that most people will get the same experience out of the regular Apple Watch Series 8 or even the SE without having to spend the extra money. You'll still be able to track your fitness, you'll still be able to swim underwater, you'll still be able to get the same apps, and you'll still be able to do mostly everything that the Series 8 can do, which makes the Ultra harder to sell. And don't get me wrong, if you do get the Ultra, you'll be very satisfied, but you can also get that similar experience while keeping the new features, assuming that you'll just get the regular Series 8. And there it is, my review on the Apple Watch Ultra after 1 month of use. Now let me know down in the comments, are you guys willing to pay $800 for this pretty overpriced watch? Let me know. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I would like to say thank you for sticking around, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe, it will be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.